What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol EBAY for eBay Inc., of course. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, I need to let you know they gave us an earnings announcement after the bell today, so let's flip on the extended hour session and see what's going on with the number. Without even zooming in, I'm sure you could see that bloodbath. Fairly nasty move here inside of eBay, taking us on a pretty severe gap down for tomorrow's session. I'm not saying we have to, remain as severe here. It could float a little bit higher, but it's very likely that we do remain on some sort of gap down. So keep in mind a lot can happen between now and 9:30 when the bell actually rings, but a couple of critical levels that we want to know would be the overnight low, forecasted opening print, and today's low of day. What that's going to do is put into place a framework that we can use to navigate tomorrow's open. We'll talk about it over here on the daily time frame chart. So zooming in a little bit on this activity here. Let me just expand that. There we go. There's basically a couple scenarios we want to watch out for. Number one would be the gap and trap. And what that looks like is opening here, failing to take out the overnight low, trading long back through the opening print for a filling of the gap overhead. Today's low of day, 54.50 roughly. So that's the long trade. That's the primary situation to be watching out for. Ideally, it doesn't make a run all the way to that overnight low and then reverse, because this distance, I'm not going to say it's equal. Obviously, you have a little bit more reward than risk in that scenario, but it's not fantastic. It would look much better if we did something like this, then pop up through. Now your risk reward is much better. Stop loss goes here, targets up here, makes much more sense, right? So that's primary scenario number one. Scenario number two is the gap and go. And this is the scenario that, usually people are rooting for whenever you see a major gap against something. So what you would watch for is something that looks like this, right? Descending triangle, bear flag, anything that sets up a breakdown of the overnight low, roughly 48, we'll call it for round number's sake. That should take us to the next daily area of support. And if we pop this back to auto, what do we have underneath us, right? Nothing here on this yearly, on the daily. Let's go to 2-year weekly. What do we have for supports underneath us here? Very interesting that the 200 SMA on the weekly is the overnight low. The overnight low is also coinciding with this set of lows from right around in here. So we're kind of opening at very, very important support, roughly 48 bucks, right? So if that doesn't hold, look out below. This is an area of fairly poor structure here on the weekly time frame chart. I would imagine, let's just grab some more time here so I'm not missing something off to our left. We'll go with like 5 years this time. Yeah, so what I was going to point out was this kind of area right here, just noting that prior support, then turn to resistance, right? That's what we could see on our screen. That's kind of what we want to be paying attention to, roughly 38. So about a $10 move to the downside is available here based on what we see here on the weekly time frame. I'm not saying it gets there all in one day, but eBay could be fairly nasty if that 48 level breaks. So something to watch out for sure. That's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it today or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.